We visited Christian's Pub, the very first bar on George Street, for a 30-minute Screeched in ceremony, which involves taking a shot of Screech rum, kissing a frozen cod, and reciting local phrases.
Long may the big jib drop.
All right, we're at Christian's right now, ready to get Screeched in. The famous Christian.
I'm a Newfoundlander, born and bred, and I'll be one till I die. I'm proud to be an Islander, here's the reason why. I'm free.
I spent some time in New York State, and then I lost my mind. The city lights too fast for me, nobody had a good time. An Islander, here's the reason why. I'm free as the wind, and the waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
Son of a fisherman or a lighthouse keeper. I don't eat fish 3 times a day, and I don't drink Screech ever. At least not before noon on weekdays. But I got a boat with a fine 4 cuddy, and it's got a high top sail, and I painted it green. And it's got even icebergs and blue stars, and at the puffin is a true proud and noble bird. Our scoff is a dance. Newfoundland, a blue star is a beard. Their traits and a lot of their linguistics, but we actually managed to come up with our own language, and we call it Newfoundlandese. United States and in England they call it spam. I believe in Australia they call it dead. Up in Newfoundland would be a poor kid. That kid would be so poor that if he didn't wake up on Christmas morning with a hard on, he'd have nothing to play with that day. Chef in a cabin. All of a sudden now, I literally have 4,000 French Canadians. They show up here every year and they think I'm a restaurant. The Ukraine they call it doctor. Newfoundland, we call this steak. I would have this for breakfast with eggs and toast and hash browns. In the afternoon, I'll put this with cheese, mayonnaise, or mustard. In the evening, I would bake this in the oven with barbecue sauce, honey, and pineapples and serve it over rice. They call and they want to do a private Screech in. I say, well, okay, no problem. Also, the last thing I said was lips and assholes, and I was really curious to know what that song would be. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Bridget and
Taylor.
Good. For a prize. What was my name? Lukey. It was Chef Lukey. Giovanni Caboto. It was an Italian explorer. We know him as John Cabot because the English paid for his travels, and that's how the English wanted his name to sound. In 1497, John Cabot sails the Atlantic on his boat the Matthew, all the way from Bristol, England to Bonavista Bay, Newfoundland. And when he arrives here, he sees lots of activity in our water. He doesn't know what's going on, but he drops a bucket down to fill it up with water. And when he came up to the top of the boat, it was filled to the rim with codfish. And word got out fast how plentiful the fish were in our waters that they traveled from all over to settle here. Right here is a real Newfoundland codfish. Now, given the chance, this fish could have grown to the height of 6 feet tall and weighed as much as 250 pounds. This fish will not grow any more than this because it's dead. It's frozen, and it fits perfectly in my freezer. The significance of this particular fish, why I love it so much, my daughter, she catches me this fish last summer in a place called Twillingate, Newfoundland, where all the icebergs go. And when she saw what was happening that day, to all the other fish that got gutted and filleted, lost their cheeks and tongues to the restaurants, she wanted this fish, her fish, to become the most loved fish ever to come out of the waters of Newfoundland. And I promised her I would make that happen, as I've been promising her every year since she was 10. Of rum. In fact, it was considered the test of a man. If they can drink it without screaming, passing out, or having a heart attack, that they would be considered true men, or women, or transgender, or non-binary. We're serving up our hospitality to a U.S. captain. He drank the shot, he yelled at a great big yell. The sergeant came out running into the room and said, "Who yelled out the god-awful Screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander sitting at the bar that said, "Screech, boy, 'tis the rum, me son," and that's how Screech got its name. Before they called it Screech, they called it something a little bit simpler. They called it Newfoundland rum. You know, he really was exactly the same person in person as who he was on television. He was jovial and articulate and intelligent, and it's an incredible experience when you get to meet that. That's to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. Up to the lips, over the gums, look out, God, here she comes. Close your back.
Cheers.
Okay, now, you are past the trees, but you are not out of the woods. The shortest conversation you're ever going to hear between two Newfoundlanders goes like this. Aren't smart? Nah. This is a full conversation. In order to understand it, you have to envision two fishing vessel captains crossing each other in the early morning dusk. One fishing vessel captain looks over at the other fishing vessel captain and he says, "Aren't smart." Translation is, "Did you catch any fish this morning?" And the response was, "No, any idea what that might have meant?" It means, "No, you didn't catch any fish this morning." Otherwise, he would have said, "No, I speak English." Someday, what? Hey, what? That means the weather was nice today. I agree. Now, let's say you didn't understand what I was saying. That same conversation would have gone on like this. Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? It goes back and forth like that for a while, and it's really painful to watch. Now, it's harder to say than what you think. It's not a boy, it's not I boy, it's not I buy, it's a buy. I want everybody to say a buy at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
A buy.
D-I is.
D-I is.
Me old cock.
Me old cock.
Long may your big jib draw.
Long may your big jib drop.
By the power vested in me, I now declare you all honorary. Brent, Lonnie, Lori, Leah. I'm officially a newbie. Yeah, Leah's an official newbie.
Happy birthday, dear Leah. Happy birthday to you.
We came from away and left as honorary Newfoundlanders.